Well, on the season premiere of The Real Housewives of Orange County, Shannon Beador is tired of people saying that she is the drunk that needs help. Because she is not. She just had a really bad night and wants to walk out right now because she's ruining her makeup. But more on that later. The show opened with Shane's ongoing obsession with Emily's ass. And then we cut over to some weird sexual thing with Tamara and Eddie and a disposable sock ring. Don't make me watch. Then Tamara, Emily, and Jen with two N's get together at the gym. Jen says that her and Tamara have moved past last year's drama and now they're keeping it light and easy. Emily has lost 40 pounds and looks better than ever, even though she has always been beautiful, the most beautiful. Then we're at Shannon's new place, and there are big changes because it's small-ish, at least by Shannon's standards. But times have definitely changed for Shannon, and now she's even allowing Diet Coke in her house. She's there with her three girls who are now grown and doing their own thing, and walking the line between holding space for their mother's mistakes and holding her accountable for her behavior. Shannon tearfully apologizes to her daughters and says that she is so sorry for how her choices impacted her ability to come and visit them. And then in confessional, Shannon admits that she did indeed drive to John's house, that they got in a big fight, that he called her a drunken idiot, and told her not to drive. But she went out, revved up the car, and almost instantly crashed into the neighbor's front yard. While Shannon was talking with her girls, they said, "It's amazing that you kept certain people in your life for so long." And the girls were referring to John. But Shannon, like Shannon always does, says, "Yeah, kind of seeing who my true friends are." And as far as it goes with John Jansen, it's clearly not that John didn't want to be public. John just didn't want to be public with her. And given her behavior, who can blame him? But it's clear that Shannon's girls think that John Jansen is the real problem. And they tell their mom that when they see John and his new girlfriend, the very best thing that she can do is walk by and be completely unaffected. I mean, do they know their mother? And Shannon says, "Yeah, she can enjoy my sloppy seconds." Shannon goes on to tell the girls that she was in a wellness program for a month and that she's still seeing a therapist. But then back at the gym, Tamara talks about why she bowed out at the Tres Amigas show and said that even after Shannon's incident, she still saw her sneaking vodka into her Diet Coke. And Tamara didn't like the look and didn't want any part of it. Then Shannon brought up the fact that she was actually sued by Alexis's ex-husband, Jim Bellino. Tamara goes on to say that she can't speak about the settlement, but between her and Shannon, they lost $800,000. Then we're at Heather's new house where they are redesigning, redecorating, and where the guest house renovation alone is $2 million. Heather mentions to Terry that she's going to have a party at the Bay Club and that she's inviting all the girls, including both Shannon and Alexis. Alert, alert. Then Gina goes over to see Emily, whose kitchen is under construction. Gina brings up Shannon's DUI and the fact that she thinks that Shannon should have gone to rehab. And then she brings up Travis and the fact that things between the two of them are at a crossroads. Gina says that Travis has an ex who's dedicated to making his life miserable, which in turn makes her life miserable. Plus they have too many kids and too small of space, and Gina thinks that they need to separate in order to see what's really going on between them. But I'm left wondering, is this real or just to juice up their storyline? Then Jen and her West Coast Louie go out to dinner and she is clearly stressed about her living situation. She's being evicted, she's behind on rent and borrowing money from him and her dad. She owes over $20,000 in back rent, but she's only making $50 per yoga class, which newsflash will hardly even buy you lunch in Laguna. Ryan wants her and her kids to move in with him because his pockets are apparently overflowing. Play ball! Then we're out to dinner with Heather and Emily. They're talking about the upcoming party and the invite list, which includes Alexis Bellino, who walked in to join them right at that minute. And straight away, Emily asked to see the ring that John bought her. And then in a dreamlike sequence, Alexis says, "November 18th is the day that John Jansen walked into my life. I met John at the Quiet Woman. Shannon does not own Quiet Woman. I've been going there for over 2 decades. But anywho, John walks in, ends up sitting at my booth. We tried to fight the feelings, but after 2 weeks, John and I just knew. And that was it. I don't know Shannon, I'm not friends with Shannon, and unfortunately, the heart wants what the heart wants. So here we are, take us or leave us." Then Alexis comes hard for Emily over something that she heard Emily say on 2 Teas in a Pod. Emily had referred to John as a doucher, and Alexis said that unfortunately, that really hurt her feelings. And then she went on to ask Emily where she got her information about John. And Emily's like, "What are you talking about, sis? I've been here." Then Emily says, "For 3 years, Shannon's been telling me that he doesn't pay for anything, that he takes advantage of her." And Alexis is like a pit bull defending the man that she's been with for a month. Emily says that at this point, she knows John better than Alexis does, and that from where she stands, he is indeed a douchebag. Then Alexis says, "Please, all I ask is that you give him a chance. I promise when you get to know him, you'll love him as much as I do. He's my Johnny J." Then Tamara takes her daughter to get a tattoo, and during their time together, Tamara opens up about her estrangement with her older daughter. She goes on to say that she wants to get angel numbers on her wrists because every time she sees 111, she makes a wish that Sydney will come home. And my heart breaks for Tamara every time she talks about this. Then Gina and Travis sit down over lunch to discuss their split. Travis is clearly bummed about it, and then Gina says that she doesn't want the kids to think that they're breaking up, but aren't they? And everyone's getting ready for Heather's big party at the Bay Club. We see Jen getting hair and makeup even though she can't afford rent. Then Emily picks up Alexis, who needs an espresso because she had a sleepover the night before with Johnny J. And she is exhausted. Then Gina picks up her new friend Katie, whom she met through Sutton. She's young and fun and doesn't really have anything nice to say about Heather, whom she says she's met before, but this is the first time that she's personally scored a hello from Fancy Pants. Then Shannon arrives and Shannon confronts Alexis and takes her outside while the rest of the women gather around the window to watch. Shannon tries to make it all about that old lawsuit, but Gina from the side says that this is really about John and his pet, Anaconda. Alexis says she had nothing to do with that lawsuit. She doesn't owe her a dime and she's not gonna get her boyfriend back.